Mario has traveled and been to many places throughout his adventure. He's traveled to different islands and kingdoms, even around the world, and even throughout space in multiple different galaxies. So, what has Mario not done yet in his adventure? Well, one thing he hasn't done, really, is time travel. Yes, Mario and Luigi partners in time. He did, in fact, time travel to see his younger self, being Baby Mario. But besides that spin-off Mario and Luigi game, we really haven't had a mainline story where Mario went back in time. Well, what if we had a brand new Mario game that handled this concept? I've touched on this a bit before, and I've kind of made some predictions as to what this video would be, but today I'm going all out and telling you exactly how this game would work, the story, the gameplay, and everything in between. But before we get started, not only should you guys subscribe and like the video, it helps out a lot, but also feel free to follow us on my official Nintendo Land Twitter account. And yes, there's also an Instagram if you want to follow me there. Not too many people have Instagram anymore, but my Twitter account and Instagram are in the links in the description down below. Feel free to follow whether it's my personal account or it's the actual Nintendo Land account. They're both down there if you want to check them out. Now, without further ado, let's get into the concept of Super Mario Warped. So let's talk about the story. The story starts off with Peach and Egad presenting a brand new time machine that is a brand new model from the one in Partners in Time. This will help them to better understand their past and maybe even find a way to stop Bowser for good. Bowser comes in with his airships and steals Peach, jumping through the portal in the middle of the presentation in front of everyone in the giant crowd. Mario must follow Bowser back through the time machine and all the way back to the original Mario Brothers, the first time they encountered each other. Mario has now been chucked and thrown into his past, but where does he begin? Well, we are now going over all of the levels that you will be playing through and exactly how this game would work. This is going to be a 3D open world adventure game with different types of giant sandbox levels, the same way of Mario Odyssey, Mario Sunshine, and of course Mario 64. The first world would be Mario Bros. Fields, and it'd be the first time we see the original Mario Brothers in a full 3D art style. You can see the hills in the background that are actually brought to life now, and you can run up and down the hills. You can see all of the grassy areas, blocks everywhere, and it's just a very beautiful grassy overview. And I think it could be a really good opening level and something extremely fun to see in 3D, really, for the first time ever. For Mario Bros. 2, Mario will enter Subcon, which is technically a giant dream world, so it'll feel like a dream world. It'll be bright and colorful with tons of enemies everywhere and tons of waterfalls, jumping fish, giant rolling hills, and different platforms that Mario can jump on. You'll also be able to go underground and enter different doors leading to different sections, just like the original game. Mario Bros. 3, Mario will enter Giant Land, where everything is just huge. We've seen this a couple times in a Mario 3D World level and even in a Mario Galaxy stage, so what if they repeated this again, but actually fleshed out an entire world? This would be really cool to see kind of how small you could be in a world full of giant blocks and enemies and just structures everywhere. It would make you feel like you were Olimar and exploring this giant world that's just unknown, and I think it would be really cool for a level design. We'll then move to Super Mario Land within the Sarasa Land Desert. This would be really cool, and I feel like it could both take a lot of place in the desert the same way Toast Arena did in Mario Odyssey, but also a lot of the time inside of ruins, because that's a lot of the places that you explored within Super Mario Land. So it actually would really be the Sand Kingdom from Mario Odyssey, but just looking a lot different and really taking more inspiration from Mario Land than Odyssey, if anything. Super Mario World would be Dino Island, and Mario World is really known for its new enemies being the dinosaurs. And what if they just had tons of dinosaurs, kind of like the Cascade Kingdom from Mario Odyssey? So what if they went full-fledged dinosaur? And I'm not saying mostly a jungle, but more of the mountainous type of region, because that's where it looks like most of the levels from Super Mario World takes place, up in the mountains somewhere, and maybe even add a volcano, and that could tie to the story in a pretty cool way. We've seen that once again with Mount Libano and the Luncheon Kingdom, but what if they did it like a more realistic kind of caves that you can enter and mountain ranges, and of course a realistic volcano this time? Then Mario would go kind of backwards in time if you think about it, because then he would turn into his baby self for Yoshi's Island as he visits the Yoshi Jungle. This would be pretty cool, and I thought to go with the jungle world because it felt the most at home for Yoshi's Island. There's lots of animals all over the jungle, and lots of fish in the lakes and the rivers, and monkeys climbing through the trees. I would love to see kind of a giant jungle for a 3D Mario. We've seen a giant forest with the Wooded Kingdom, but how about a jungle? Not the Lost Kingdom, that doesn't count either, but I want a full-fledged, dark, creepy jungle, and maybe it's not really creepy because it's Yoshi, so it'd just be, you know, more fun-filled with animals and lives and tons of different colored Yoshis running everywhere. Mario 64, of course Mario would revisit Bob-Omb's battlefield. It's just crazy that we have never gone back there ever, or never seen anything really with that stage again. We did see Womp's Fortress within Mario Galaxy 2 as the throwback galaxy, but I would love to see Bob-Omb Battlefield again. It would kind of be the exact same thing that we remember, in fact. It would be Bob-Omb's Battlefield to the core, just in HD, and with maybe some added things that we can go explore and find, and some added characters, and maybe a couple of enemies. It would be pretty much the same and just kind of a throwback recreation of that stage, and it'd be really fun to go back and revisit. For Super Mario Sunshine, I was a little bit torn for which stage. It is Mario Sunshine, so I feel like you would have to have some type of beach and water, and as Rico Harbor would be a good choice, I want to go with Peanut Park because it's very original. There is actually a beach that you can start off on and go into the water and see the grassy areas and the beachy areas with the sand and the sand creatures, and there is a giant amusement park with Peanut Park. It is a beautiful amusement park with Ferris wheel, roller coasters, and even boat rides, and it would be a blast to play through a proper version of it. I'm not saying Sunshine isn't a proper version of it, but just a giant HD filled amusement park where maybe you can even ride some of the rides outside of the roller coaster and just do some different things that you couldn't do in Sunshine, and just completely blow this up to be a full-fledged amusement park with people getting in lines, people trying to get on rides, and just enemies trying to take over rides as well. It would be amazing. For Super Mario Galaxy, it would obviously be Gusty Garden, and it's one of people's favorite stages from any Mario game, and it would just be a really cool one to see, you know, in an exploratory Mario. Where Mario Galaxy was more linear, this time you'll be able to fly to any planet that you want, and even see new ones that weren't in the original game. You'll fly throughout the space of this galaxy and just kind of visit new creatures, new items, and new things to just go play around with in this kind of open world Mario Galaxy stage. You could just take any launch star to any planet at any time, and it would just make it feel a lot more open than originally. For New Super Mario Bros., I chose New Super Mario Bros. U, and it will be the Sky World. It's one of the only things that we really haven't gotten a lot of 3D Mario love with is a Sky World. We did have the Cloud Kingdom in Mario Odyssey, but it turned out to not even be a kingdom really, just kind of a fighting arena for Mario and Bowser. I would love to see a full-blown Sky Kingdom or Sky area where maybe there's like a cloud castle with cloud creatures and different enemies up there. I would love to see that within a 3D space, and I think that's the best world to choose from New Super Mario Bros. As it's one of the only types of themes that we haven't gotten so far. Now these last two games are kind of tricky because there's two themes that would mesh, and you'll see in a second. But for Mario 3D World, I wanted kind of a Neo Bowser City vibe, like in Mario Kart. So why not have Bowser Land? It'll be a giant city / Bowser amusement park in the night, which would be really cool. It would rain every now and then, but it would be a ton of neon lights just shining, where you can even go inside Bowser's giant tower for once, instead of just climbing the outside of it. You get to go inside and just see all the tricks and traps that he left you, and just kind of explore this Neo City at night. And then of course you have Mario Odyssey, and this is where I got confused. Of course you want to say New Donk City, but you already have Bowser's Land, which is just a lot better, and I feel like it's too soon to just revisit the exact same New Donk City. So what if we revisit something that we actually never fully visited in the first place, like the Ruined Kingdom? What if we get placed in the Ruined Kingdom, or maybe when the kingdom wasn't even ruined at all? And that would be really cool to have kind of a Knights themed area with a castle and different Knights creatures, and even the Lord of Lightning being there as well. This could be a really cool area and world that we've never seen it in the way that it was meant to be intended to be seen. And then the final battle of the game, and the kind of the main area of the game, will be Peach's Castle. I'll talk about this more in a bit, but Peach's Castle will serve not only as the hub world, but also the final level where you'll have to race your way to the top of the castle in order to battle Bowser. This would be a good ending because Peach's Castle just kind of signifies the beginning, the area where everybody feels safe, but then Bowser takes over. So this would actually be a really good place for the finale to be. Now I want to talk about abilities, because as Mario goes through these different levels and worlds and the different periods of his time, he will get different abilities based on each game. For Super Mario Bros., he gets a higher jump. It's the only thing I could really think of for that game. Mario Bros. 2, he gets the ability to pick up things out of the ground, such as turnips or just picking up things out of the ground. Mario Bros. 3, he can pick up blocks the similar way. There's a certain stage in that game where you can actually pick up these blue blocks and throw them. In Super Mario Land, I didn't know what to give him, so I gave him a dive roll and a slide similar to what he has in Odyssey. In Super Mario World, he has the ability to run up slanted walls like he could those triangle blocks in the game, allowing him to run up edges and just different parts of the map. In Yoshi's Island, he will be a baby, and the main ability will be riding Yoshi and using Yoshi's abilities such as throwing eggs and eating enemies. In Mario 64, he will have his long jump / flips that he'll learn how to do again. And in Mario Sunshine, he will learn how to use FLUDD all over again. It probably won't be all the different nozzles, just the basic FLUDD nozzle. In Mario Galaxy, he'll learn how to do his signature spin, thanks to the Luma. And in New Super Mario Bros. U, he'll learn how to wall jump, which I know is kind of late in the game, but I couldn't really think of anything else he learned in that game that was different. In Super Mario 3D World, he will learn how to run faster, getting a speed boost after a long time. And in Super Mario Odyssey, he gets Cappy. This works out well since Mario Odyssey is at the end of the timeline. Cappy can be the last main ability that Mario gets because it's actually kind of OP to be able to capture all these different enemies. And he won't be able to use this until he reaches that world at the very end of the game. Now, even though Mario learns abilities in each world, he does also gain the ability to use different items based on that time period. Of course, in Super Mario Bros., you'll have the Fire Flower and the Star. Super Mario Bros. 2, you really won't have anything. Super Mario Bros. 3, you have the Tanuki Leaf, the Boot, and the Frog Suit. Super Mario Land, you'll have the Super Ball, and Super Mario World, you'll have the Super Feather, which gives Mario the Cape Feather. In Yoshi's Island, you could have that Power Star that turns Baby Mario into like Super Baby Mario, or the Yoshi transformations would definitely work. In Mario 64, you'll have the Metal / Wing Cap. In Super Mario Sunshine, there weren't many abilities at all, so this doesn't really count here. But for Super Mario Galaxy, you can have the Ice Flower or the Spring Mushroom, or some other type of ability from that game would definitely work. From New Super Mario Bros., you can have the Super Acorn, and from Mario 3D World, you can have the Cat Suit, Boomerang Suit, or even the Double Cherry. And for Super Mario Odyssey, once again, there is no item since we have Cappy. So the verdict of the story with these levels is very similar to that of Samus within the Metroid games. As she loses her abilities, Mario loses his abilities as he goes back to his past, starting at the very beginning of his adventure. And he'll have to gain different abilities from different levels as he clears the game. And he won't get some of his abilities until the very end of the game, which allows him to backtrack and get different items and stuff after you beat the game. That's why Odyssey is last, because Capture will give Mario the ability to capture most enemies from the past games he encounters earlier on in the game. So you can go back and capture some of your favorite enemies once you get this ability later on. He will be collecting stars, special coins, shine sprites, cat shines, and even moons the entire time depending on the game, and some games that don't have these certain things like stars such as the Mario Brothers games, so there will be unique different things you'll be collecting for those specific games. And Mario will need to collect these stars or moons or cat shines, whatever he's collecting, in order to power the time machine enough for him to blast forward to the next world and to the next game in his history. The hub world will once again be Peach's Castle, but also EGAD's laboratory, because this is how you access different time points. Once you go from one game, Mario can come back to the laboratory and collect things throughout the castle or throughout EGAD's lab and roam around and do whatever he pleases. Once he has enough power stars or whatever the collectible was in the past world, he can give them to EGAD to power up the time machine, allowing Mario to travel through the different worlds and move forward. He can completely flesh out the castle with Easter eggs and different things and callbacks such as Mario 64 and just tons of different rooms like we've seen in Paper Mario 64 that he can explore and look at, such as the kitchen or the basement and different areas of the castle. This would be really cool and something that people have wanted to see for a very long time. Now I'm going to talk about the bosses for each world. Outside of Bowser's going to have his own purpose, I'll tell you in a second. But for Mario Bros. 1, there really was no boss outside of Bowser. You could have fake Bowser, but that just doesn't really make sense to me. Mario Bros. 2, you could have Mauser, Birdo, Tri-Clyde, or even Wart come back. In Mario Bros. 3, you can have the Koopalings the first time you see them in this game. I have you seeing them twice, and I'll show you again in a few minutes. Tatanga and King Totomesu will be in the Mario Land area, and in Super Mario World, you'll have Reznor return, but it'll be a lot harder than just hitting the blocks underneath them. It'll be some type of twist, like after you knock them all down, they all come back up on a giant Reznor or some type of giant dinosaur. For Yoshi's Island, you could have a Baby Mario versus Baby Bowser, or you could have Bert the Bashful, or even a Naval Piranha Plant. For Mario 64, obviously King Bob-Omb, and he will be a lot more difficult than he was in the original with tons of new things that he can do. With Mario Sunshine, you'll have Gooper Blooper, or Petey Piranha, or of course, the Mecha Bowser from Peanut Park. And in Mario Galaxy, you'll have Major Burrows or Camilla. In New Super Mario Bros. U, you'll have the Koopalings again, which will include all of them. This will be the second encounter in the game. And in Mario 3D World, you'll have the Histocrats. And then finally in Mario Odyssey, you will have the Lord of Lightning from the Ruined Kingdom. And there will be Bowser bosses. It's hard for me to explain what I mean by these, and I'll try my best, so I'm sorry if this sounds kind of vague and weird. But after each section of worlds, you'll come across a Bowser battle. So after the first sections of the Mario Brothers games, meaning Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and Mario World, and it will pretty much be a 3-phase battle. The first phase is just dropping the drawbridge on Bowser from Mario Brothers 1. It'll quickly warp you to Mario Brothers 3, where he will try to land on you and break the bricks below you, and you'll have to let him fall, which then will quickly warp to the final phase with Super Mario World, where he'll have his clown car throwing out Mecha Koopas, and you'll have to hit his clown car with them, now with the ability to pick up items thanks to Super Mario 3. There will be another section for the 3D open world Mario, such as Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, where you have to defeat him in different scenarios, once again in 3 phases. Mario 64, you have to grab his tail and toss him at the bombs outside of the stage. Then you will be warped into the Mario Sunshine section, where yes, he's in the bathtub, and you'll have to break the different platforms in order to flip him out of the tub. Then taking you guys to Mario Galaxy on a planet, where you'll have to fight Bowser the similar way you did in Mario Galaxy. And then before the final boss, you'll fight Bowser again in a 2-part and a 2-phase with Meowser, and of course the dressed up Odyssey Bowser with his super hat. And then finally, the final battle against Bowser will be a giant arena where Bowser will pull out all different things from his past battles, and Mario has to use all of his combined abilities to fight back, such as plucking turnips and throwing them, flood abilities, galaxy spin, cat suits to climb, and even Cappy captures. This will take place at the top of the castle in one final showdown and wrap everything up. This was so fun to make. I love the idea of kind of having a celebration of Mario by having Mario go through his past. And this would be kind of like a Smash Ultimate type of thing for Mario, kind of bringing all the Mario games together for one big hoorah before moving on to the future of Mario games and Mario platformers. This would be a lot of fun to not only see the 2D stages and finally grand 3D open world sandbox madness, and I think it would work so well. But guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think, and if you have any other ideas for a Mario game, you can put your comments down below and I'll be sure to cover them and talk about the idea, and maybe even make a video about it if it's good enough. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, if you enjoyed the video today, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. And also feel free to follow me on my different social media accounts. All the links are in the description down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.